What a disaster of a football game that was. What an absolute embarrassment of a football game that was. The Miami Dolphins falling on Sunday Night Football 23-17 to the Los Angeles Chargers. And what was a really big game when you're talking about the AFC playoff picture and the Dolphins laying absolute egg. Quite frankly, the game wasn't this close. The Dolphins were lucky to lose this game by 6 points. Yeah, they almost got that onside kick in the end, which would have given them a chance to win the game. They were lucky to have a chance here in the fourth quarter. Chargers kick a field goal to go up 9 with over 2 minutes left, about 2.5 minutes left, and that pretty much sealed this game. But even earlier than that, the Dolphins had a chance a couple times to go down and take the lead. They could not get anything going on offense all day long. Tua had 25 passing yards in the first half. He finishes with a season low, and I'm not counting the Bengals game, obviously, that he left in the second quarter with the concussion when I say that. 112 yards, 6 for 22. 6 for 22 from Tua Tagovailoa in this game. 1 touchdown, no picks. Justin Herbert, meanwhile, we'll talk more about him in a second. He goes for a lot. Excuse me. Tua was 10 of 28, 145 yards, 1 touchdown. Still really bad. Herbert throws for nearly 370 yards. If you're like me, your nightmare coming into this game was 3 things. Number 1, the Dolphins lose their second straight game with Buffalo on deck on a short week in Buffalo in the cold next week. Number 2 was Tua Tagovailoa really struggling. Number 3 was Justin Herbert balling out and playing a lot better than Tua. This game was really important for the Dolphins, and it was really important for Tua Tagovailoa. You're playing on a national stage against the entire world. Entire country's watching this game. And pretty much everybody for the last 2.5 years was saying the Dolphins made a catastrophic mistake taking Tua Tagovailoa over Justin Herbert. Tua had a chance tonight to shut all those people up for the foreseeable future. Maybe not for good, but for a very long time. And Tua had one of the worst performances, if not the worst performance of his career when you consider the circumstances here. Just a horrendous performance. He did not look comfortable all game. Outside of the one throw to Tyreek that went for a touchdown, he did not look comfortable all game, and it was brutal to watch. Brutal to watch. Now, give the Chargers defense some credit. Give their secondary some credit. They played well, but this was a horrendous game for Tua. But there's a lot more people to blame than just him for this loss. Go down in the comments section. Let me know. Who is to blame for this loss? I thought the play calling was terrible. I thought the play calling could have been a lot better. So Mike McDaniel's to blame. The defense did not play well most of this game. You can blame this on Josh Boyer as well. It is the pinned comment. Go down, reply to it. Who is to blame for this loss? Tua, Mike, Josh Boyer. The list goes on and on. It was a horrendous again, you look at the score like, oh, the Dolphins lost by 6, close game. It wasn't that close. The Chargers dominated this football game for the most part. You look at the total yards. Total yards. You want to hear this? You want to hear this, producer Chugs? 432 to 219. They had over 200 more total yards in this football game. Luke, what are our wild card chances? With the win tonight, it would have been more than a 95% chance to make the playoffs. Is that possible to update that graphic, Chugs? Because the Dolphins are 8-5 now, and the Jets are 7-6. This isn't updated. Let's not put this on screen because it wasn't updated. Our wild card chances right now are not a given. It is still likely that the Dolphins will make the playoffs, but you have to go to Buffalo next week, and you have to beat Buffalo to avoid falling to 8-6 and avoid your second 3-game losing streak of the season. This has been the season so far. You win 3 straight games to start the season. Then you lose 3 straight. Then you win 5 straight, and now you lose your second straight game with Buffalo on deck, who's really hungry to avenge that last loss to Miami. So, yeah, I mean, I'm concerned. I mean, when you look at the Dolphins' schedule ahead, it's not an easy schedule to finish the season. It is not a given that the Dolphins will make the playoffs. I still believe they will. I mean, it could come down to that last game against the Jets. As scary as that is to think about, I don't want to go into that Week 18 game not already having clinched a spot. which is certainly the possibility. Again, the Dolphins trying to make the playoffs for the first time since 2016. I want to tell you about our good friends over at Rocket Money. Look, I have so many subscriptions, I can't keep track of all of them. Rocket Money does that for me. I have already canceled unwanted subscriptions through them. You can do the same. That's the link right there. It's why I love using Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill. The app shows all your subscriptions in one place and then cancels for you whatever you don't still want. Rocket Money can even find subscriptions you didn't know you were paying for. You may even find out you've been double charged for a subscription. To cancel one, all you got to do is press cancel. They'll take care of the rest. Get rid of useless subscriptions with Rocket Money now. RocketMoney.com/Dolphins chat. That's the link. It could save you $100 per year. Seriously. That's RocketMoney.com/Dolphins chat. They alerted me that I had a subscription that I hadn't used in over a year. I'm like, I'm still paying for this? Thank goodness for Rocket Money. They have already saved me a lot of money. Plus, you can track your spending, how much money you spent this month compared to last month. It's a great way to save money. That's the link, RocketMoney.com/Dolphins chat. That link in the comments and the description of this video. The run game didn't really get going either. You have Raheem Mostert going for 11 carries, 37 yards. Losing Jeff Wilson in the first half was brutal. He left the game with a hip injury and did not return. So we will keep you posted on his status. Tyreek Hill was also banged up in this game. But again, Jeff Wilson left the game in the first half with a hip injury. Salvon Ahmed and Raheem Mostert were the only other guys that were active in this game at the running back position. You saw Tyreek. He finished with 4 receptions for 81 yards and then a touchdown, obviously. But I was concerned looking at his ankle. Every time he was on the sideline, they were wrapping his ankle up. I didn't think he should have been out there in the end when the Dolphins were down 9 with a minuscule chance to win this game. I didn't really think it was worth having him out there. And so hopefully he's okay. And with the big game at Buffalo coming up, a game that you really got to win. Gavin Owens. Hey, Will, that unexcused offense from this and Tua. Also, the Dolphins have to beat the Bills next week. I'm with you. If the Dolphins beat the Bills, you're 8-6 and you've lost 3 straight games. That's not good. Not good at all. If you beat the Bills next week, we're back. We're back, and we're feeling really good about our playoff chances, and you have a pretty good chance to win the division at that point as well. But this game was such a winnable game against a football team that, quite frankly, the Dolphins are better than, but the Chargers were by far the better team tonight. But I'm with you, Gavin. Inexcusable offense tonight. Batman, will we trade Byron Jones? I don't know. I don't think he's going to be a Dolphin again. Kader Kohou's emerged as a pretty solid CB2, but Byron Jones apparently hasn't even been in the building. It's disappointing. Darren, who do you think is going to be our new DC next year after this game? Boyer's gone. Boyer's definitely in the hot seat. The defense tonight did not play great, allowing 23 points. They did make the goal line stand. They could have given up more points. I really like the idea of bringing in Jim Leonard, a former DC at Wisconsin. Matt House, the defensive coordinator at LSU, is another name to watch there. Do you think the Dolphins should fire Josh Boyer? Y for yes, in for no, down in the comments section. I'm saying yes. I think you got to. If the defense does not prove to be more consistent, but you have the worst road defense in the entire NFL right now. It's been a massive problem. Unfazed, 3D13. Tua has struggled the past 2 games, and the D can't seem to get a stop on third down. Yeah, I'm with you, man. Let's see the third down defense here in this game. 9 of 18. They converted 9 of 18 on third downs. And specifically on like 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, it was a joke. Nice little pass to Keenan Allen for 5 yards for first down every single time. They were not ready for those short passes on 3rd and short. As far as Tua is concerned, last week was his worst performance of the season before this game, and I still thought he played like halfway decent. He still threw for nearly 300 yards. This game, he was horrendous. He did not look 100%. I don't know if the ankle is still bothering him. Keep in mind, he did leave last week's game with an ankle injury. Maybe that is something that affected him tonight. The offensive line was not horrendous, but they weren't good. Maybe that was getting in his head. But also, I think that – no, you're good, Shugs. I think And something I wonder as well. There was a lot of pressure on Tua in this game. Going up against Justin Herbert on primetime television. Was that in his head? Was the pressure getting to Tua Tagovailoa? That is something I wonder. Fire Josh Boyer and trade for Lamar Jackson. I know a couple of y'all were halfway joking in the chat about trade for Lamar. I'm done with Tua. Start Skylar Thompson. Tua's still my guy. He still had an MVP caliber season. This was a horrendous performance, though. I'm with you on Fire Josh Boyer. I'm not with you on giving up for Tua Tagovailoa, John. We bring you Dolphins post-game videos after every game. We also have watch parties for every Dolphins game. Will be live Saturday night against the Buffalo Bills. Also, news and rumors videos each and every single day. Chad, what's up? That's our Super Chat MVP. We appreciate Chad Jones. Do you think Miami will be able to handle the Buffalo defense that played today? I think Tua is suffering from concussions. Actually, his head. I don't think that it was if Tua was affected by an injury today, Chad, I believe that it was the ankle. I did notice that hit he took last week. He did not go into the injury tent for that. So, hopefully everything is okay with his head. Obviously, every time Tua gets hit, we worry about him just because of his history. Do you think Miami will be able to handle the Buffalo defense that played today? Buffalo defense gave up, 12 points to the Jets today. They played well. I am worried about Buffalo next week. It's going to be tough. And ever since that Week 3 loss to the Dolphins, they have been looking forward. They have had this game circled on their calendar. You heard Stephon Diggs last week say, "We effing want the Fins." They want us. They're going to get us. We'll see what we give them. Gold Wolf Mike, what needs to happen in the next few weeks after this tough game, and will you be doing a live stream on Christmas Day? Yes, I will be live Christmas Day. Hopefully you'll be able to join us for that. They gotta put this game behind them. I was really optimistic that they would put the loss last week behind them, play a lot better today. In reality, they played a lot worse than they did last week in San Francisco. It was terrible. This was the worst performance of the season, in my opinion. Yeah, you could say the Jets game, but the Jets game really got away from the Dolphins in the fourth quarter. This game from start to finish, they were horrendous. They have to figure out what's wrong with Tua, because the last 2 weeks, Tua has not looked like himself. That needs to be the top priority. And Teron Armstead, by the way, did not look 100% either. Get him fine. Get him healthy. Old man Jeb, really wishing we didn't have the bye week. We've looked like trash since. Yeah, ever since that first half of the Texans game, it has been disastrous for this Dolphins team. So, very disappointing. Look, what makes this loss sting even more is that it was on national television. And you had a chance to really change the narrative about this football team and about Tua Tagovailoa, and you failed to do that. And instead, you are going to add fuel to the fire when talking about some of the negatives with Tua. Tyler Miller, we appreciate the super chat. I'm so depressed. All my teams are bad. It was a tough day. Tough day, man. Tough day, but we'll be back. Hopefully rebound against the Bills next week. We'll be live for that game. If you didn't get a question in on this post-game show, ask me on Twitter at WillScott44, also on IG at WillieFins. Disappointing game. I'll be back with a video tomorrow to recap this game a little bit more.